Yeah, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy Poppy Wolf, and welcome back to another episode of Boruto. This is episode 191, titled "Stray Dog," and this is pretty cool episode. I really liked it. You see, not every episode needs to be a fight or action-packed episode. It doesn't need to be. Sometimes the episode just needs to be this, and this by itself, honestly, was pretty dang awesome. I loved seeing Kawaki's growth in this episode. I loved seeing the interactions he has with Sumrie, and I think they're really hinting at some stuff. But let's jump right into the episode, and we'll get into all that when we do. So the episode starts off where we last left off with Kawaki escaping. He escapes down to the village, and there's a whole APB out for him, and he's just worming through around. He's still having trouble healing because he's hungry and he doesn't have enough energy to heal himself. So he's going really slow, and he's probably needs to eat so he can replenish his chakra, so he could, of course, heal himself. But he just, there's no luck. He can't steal anything because then he's bringing so much attention to himself, and there's nothing he can find in the trash until he passes by somebody who drops a loaf of bread there. He meets a stray dog who he bonds with, someone who's been beaten and torn and does whatever he can to survive. And Kawaki sees himself in this dog a lot. He even has this little fight where he goes, like, "This is my bread, get it yourself your own." And when he holds the dog down and sees he's all battered and scathed and full of cuts, he sympathizes with the dog and gives him a piece of bread. And of course, the dog sees this, and after helping the dog by tying a piece of his bandage onto the dog sees him as someone who's worth trusting. And I think this is what makes this episode so good, is just that little relationship that he has with the dog. And it's so nice because as the episode continues, Sumrie is still trying to look for him, and the dog keeps following him around, and he keeps trying to scare the dog away, keeps saying that trusting people is only going to get you hurt. This whole little interaction with the dog is really more of Kawaki talking to what he sees himself into the dog. So it's not so much of him talking to the dog like, "You should get away from me because you're gonna get hurt," but it's his own way of rehashing his whole same ideal of, "Look, you're only gonna get hurt if you trust me. That's what I've learned. I can't trust no one because they're gonna get hurt. You can't trust me because you're gonna get hurt by trusting me." I think he really tackles and battles with that kind of with that decision of not trying. If it's more of survival than anything. And of course, Boruto and Sarada and Mitsuki think, "You know what? We can't find him on the trains. He doesn't look like he's left. Let's go look back into town." While that's happening, we do know that the train is arriving soon, and it's bringing Naruto and Sai with them. And Naruto keeps getting questioned by Sai, who says, "Is it smart to take him in? Is it smart to want to, bring him back to the village? Like, what do you think?" And of course, Naruto's like, "My decision is definitely a hefty one, because if we bring him and Kara is coming looking for him, they're gonna turn the whole village into a battle zone, and he doesn't want that. He doesn't want another pain incident." So it's really hard to think what is Naruto gonna decide, but it already seems like he already knows the course of action that he wants to take regarding Kawaki. Now we flash back to Kawaki, who is laying down. The dog sees the hot dog stand and decides to steal a thing of hot dogs, and it's trying to bring it back to Kawaki, and the owner of the store is throwing knives at him. And of course, during this whole little interaction, Sumrie sees it, and she decides to follow the dog. Of course, the dog comes back to Kawaki. Kawaki's amazed, and kind of, you can see a little bit of joy in him seeing that the dog brought him food. And what ticks him off is seeing how the man attacks the dog, and it's very malicious. If you don't like seeing animal cruelty, I wouldn't watch this episode. But he sees this happen. Kawaki takes up arms. He uses what little energy he has to, like, break a fence to scare the guy away. And Sumrie sees this whole interaction and wants to help save the dog. And it's interesting because Sumrie sees inside of Kawaki, and I think this is what okay, I'm like I said, I'm aware of the manga. I realize what's going on, but I feel like the anime is doing a lot better job of preparing what's gonna happen in the future of, the series. And this really painted that, yes, Sumrie can really vibe with Kawaki because she and him are kind of going through the same thing. They're both used as somewhat pawns by their fathers or father figures, and they were kind of told that they have to be one thing. They have to be a weapon. They have to destroy themselves. It's very interesting to see how close these two people can get, because that's what Sumire sees in him. And Kawaki kind of lets his guard down a little with her, and gives her a little bit of he doesn't blatantly say what he's going through, but he does look like he has enough sense to think he's giving her a little bit of like his own self. He scares the dog away once they help the dog, and she keeps questioning him, like, why do you keep doing that? Like, you don't want to trust people. And she's kind of hyping up Naruto, saying, look, I fucked up. I almost killed the whole village, and I know you don't want to do that. You need to meet the Hokage, who wants to meet with you personally, because I know for a fact he's the person who's going to be able to help you and let your guard down. So it's really, it hints this, like, that Naruto is the only one who can get through to him, and it kind of feels like it, especially towards what happens next, when he freaks out over a needle because he doesn't want to be experimented on, that Sumire has, so that way she can help him not fucking die of starvation. Boruto and the group catch him at the worst time as he's like strangling her. He jumps to conclusions, and he thinks this was all a big setup. Of course, they all have a little like chase scene with him. They have a fight. The officers aren't really regarding the Sumire's actual appearance there, and they keep just tracking him down, and they're willing to kill him on the spot if he gets out of control. He keeps scaring people out so he can keep running away, and it's making us understand, like, oh shit, like this, he is very much like the dog, the very dog he saved. He's trying to survive any way he can, and he's trying to move forward. And there's a certain scene. What happens is, as the police, the leaf police are shooting him with the scientific ninja tools, he's absorbing the fire jutsu, and he ends up redirecting it back. But he sees that he's about to hit a kid, so he shoots it up, only to about to hit a building. And of course, out of anywhere to appear, it's Naruto. Naruto comes up and basically blocks it and takes it away. Right after he got off the train, Naruto ran into Boruto, who was carrying Sumire, and Sumire pleaded with Naruto to say, hey, he's not a bad person. He's a lot like me, and I think you're the only person who can get through to him if you talk to him, like you kind of saved me. So Naruto does the exact same thing, and it's a really tender moment. The song of the Boruto Naruto father song plays when he knocks out the blast, and then Kawaki's ready to fight down, and he gives him a little thing. He goes, you're mine now. Like, I'm gonna take care of you. Stop acting so tough. Like, it's very much of like Naruto adopting Kawaki, which, again, if you don't read the manga, you basically already know this, but it's just nice to see them have like this tender moment where it's like, maybe that's what they needed. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this is exactly what they needed. And it does make you feel somewhat like happy to see that the one person in the world who could be there for Kawaki, of course, being sold by his one dad, and being re-engineered by his second. It's nice to see somebody who actually will care about him and actually be there for him make it apparent that I'm going to be your parent now. I'm going to be your role model. He's going to be his Jirai in a sense. He's going to or his Iruka sensei. Like, he needs to know that he's not a worthless student, or he's a worthless human. He needs to be shown actual affection and shown that his life matters and that he matters to other people. Very much the same way Iruka did for Naruto. And I feel like this is what we're going to see soon. But anyways, guys, this is going to be it for the review. Again, this episode was, I would honestly give it like 8 out of 5 out of 10. Like, it was so nice. It was cool. It was enjoyable. I don't think there was anything I didn't like about this episode, honestly. The reason why it isn't so high is because it still feels like a setup episode. I do like seeing Naruto take this approach, and I like how Boruto's somewhat confused. I'm like, wait a minute, what does this even mean? But anyways, guys, that's gonna be it for your boy Poppy Wolf. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Remember, leave a comment down below if you have anything else that you want to talk about in this review. Let me know if you guys want me to cover anything else. And remember, 1,000 subscribers, guys. Let's get that by the end of the year. Yeah, let's try to get that. That's the goal. All right, catch you later.